Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and in this video I've got 3 replays for you in the tier 6 Soviet Sherman tank, the LOZA'S M4-A2. So this is actually the level 25 reward on the season pass, and yeah, so what we'll do is we'll have a look at this and we'll be reviewing the equipment and the perks that are coming up in the top right hand screen. And you can see there, for this tank we run optics, gun rammer and vert stabs. On the perks we run the usual, so born leader, rapid reload, 6th sense, steady aim, camouflage expertise, situational awareness, run and gun, snapshot and silent driving. One thing I would probably point out, because I have sort of taken this crew off of another tank, one of my other Soviet tanks, maybe I'll probably drop the silent driving for track mechanic, as you know, that might be the better option, I think. But overall I decided to sort of go for a general mix of sort of gun stability perks and just a little bit of camo. So yeah, what do you get for the LOZA basically? Really, it's kind of just another Sherman, to be honest. You do have 10 degrees of gun depression, which is the same as the Thunderbolt, but obviously not as good as the Easy 8 or the Fury, as they do have 12 degrees. So 2 degrees less than those Sherman variants. But the one thing the LOZA does get compared to the other Sherman variants is it's got a better top speed of 51 kilometers per hour, or just over 51 kilometers per hour. So you can get up to that speed quite nicely, and that's not a bad thing. You can make your way up to you can get yourself up to some sort of good positions where you can get cross shots. I mean, you see here we're on Moravanka, and we've moved to the forest quite quickly, managed to sort of get into a position where we can get sort of shots, cross shots onto tanks, crossing to get to sort of the ridge lines on the right hand side of us. And tanks like this OI XP we've just basically taken out for free, really. So yeah, we've had that advantage. Now the one thing I would say you haven't got, it's sort of similar to the other Sherman variants apart from the Thunderbolt, is armour. So frontal armour on the Thunderbolt is considerably quicker, and you can bounce quite a bit at top tier off your upper plate. But unfortunately with the LOZA it's exactly the same as the Fury and the Easy 8. It just gets its standard sort of standard armour thickness, which isn't that much, so things will penetrate this from the front. It has got a good gun mantlet, sort of good or goodish turret armour. Like I say, the gun mantlet is probably the thickest part, and you will bounce some shots off that, but don't rely on it too much. You have got good gun depression, but it's not one of those where you can go whole down. For me, this tank is sort of primarily to sort of be second line support, and sort of playing the flanks, particularly with this variant, because like I say, it can get the top speed quite nicely. So what else have we got? So sort of the reload on this is the best one out of the Sherman variants. You were down to 3.2 seconds, only 0.1 second difference between the other Sherman variants, so nothing to get too excited about, but obviously it's quite nice having that sort of really good DPM. And you see we've got our reload down to 2.2 seconds here, with obviously the gun rammer, your rapid reload, and obviously running food with that. So the DPM on this thing is just ridiculous. Not much alpha damage, but naturally to be expected when you have such quick reload. But like I say, this one just absolutely shreds. And yeah, the view range same as the others, 370 meter base, so absolutely standard, and concealment pretty much the same as the Thunderbolt, but just not as good as the Fury or the Easy 8. So yeah, that's pretty much sort of the statistics of it. I know I usually sort of show the detail, show in sort of more of a detailed format, but for this one I just thought, you know what, we'll just do it on the fly, and yeah, use the first video just to sort of run through that. It wasn't too bad a game on the first video, not much damage done, but yeah, we got 4 kills and we picked up the first class, so just a nice sort of standard game really. But just a good backdrop to sort of go over the statistics, essentially what you get for your level 25 reward tank. So the second replay, we are on Red Sheer. Now I think we're mid-tier or top tier, one of the two, but yeah, mid-tier. So yeah, we're on Red Sheer and we've come over to the right hand side. It is encounter, so we would expect some sort of resistance on this side, but majority of tanks I think are going to be in the middle, sort of camping up on the hill, on the ridge in front of us, and potentially trying to get to the cap. We have got a light tank in front of us, and just keeping an eye in front of us. Doesn't seem to be anything crossing over this way, so we may actually have this area for free. Now I should say the accuracy on this tank is 0.40, which isn't great at all, which is why we've sort of run the vert stabs and gone for sort of as many gun accuracy perks as possible to try and get this accuracy a little bit better. But yeah, the reload is great, but like I say, the accuracy is a bit troll, so do have to sort of bear that in mind. I think when you get fully aimed in, it's not so bad, because like you can see here, we're sort of penning the majority of our shots. That one was just poorly aimed, but we are penning the majority of our shots. It's just, like I say, swinging that gun round straight away. You're not going to get that, you know, proper accuracy on the first shot. But light tanks, like I say, like you see here, sorry, it's going to be quite a struggle. But anything sort of slow moving or sort of sitting still, once you're aimed in, let's say, we can get these shots off. You can see we're sort of making pretty much light work of that Hellcat. Yeah, we've got a couple of shots into that guy. Now we're going to try getting some shots on the light tank, but you know, you can see here we do get one shot in because we lead that shot and we let it aim, but it's a bit of a hard job. You know, he runs in and kills himself trying to sort of take out that ramrod. But yeah, this has sort of been a good example of when you're sort of trying to get shots off long range. It can be a bit tricky. You do have to let that gun aim in, but once you're aimed, you know, you can just rattle those shells out using that good reload, and shred into your advantage. So we've not done too bad here. Sort of 1500 damage. There's still sort of, you know, still a lot of damage left in the game. There's 10 tanks left, which we're going to sort of try and get up on the ridgeline now. We're going to sort of push the advantage. Looking at the map control, we kind of know we've got these guys pincered in. So now it's just about sort of getting the gun down and just getting those shots off. Get a shot into that stir and mill, picking up our second kill of the game. And now we're just going to, again, push ahead. Push ahead to the main ridge now, where we believe those tanks are. There is a tank destroyer to the right of us, but he gets taken out. So, which is good, because now we don't have to worry about being put into a difficult crossfire, and yeah, we've just, yeah, the game has quickly sort of taken a turn for the better for us, but it just means there's not much damage left, and there's only 3 tanks left now. So I'm hoping we can just sort of get over the ridge here and start picking up some damage. We do get a shot into that KB1. Now we see the Hellcat running away. Going to try and aim our shot, but unfortunately we just don't get that aim in sort of well enough. Now we're going to sort of get some shots into this KB1. We are taking some shots in return. Do manage to dodge one. Yeah, and now we're just making the most that we can of the damage that's left. Try and get a shot into his turret, which we do. Getting a sneaker shot in for the kill shot, we do. Picking up our 3rd kill of the game. Now it's just this enemy medium heavy tank left, who is going to get shut down pretty soon. Capture KB1. So yeah, enemy heavy tank left, and he does get taken out, and that is it for the game. So let's see how we got on then. We only came second on the board. Ramrod done a great great job of sort of lighting tanks up and getting damage in. Picking up 3 kills, 2.5k damage, do pick up the high caliber and the first class medal. But like I say, a bit of it's an average game to be fair, but it was a good one to show because it can sort of show you how the gun is at long range. So moving on to the third and final replay, and we're on Normanham. And I was thinking at this point, not the greatest of maps, personally in my opinion, to be playing, but we are on good spawn, so that is a bonus. And so we've got 2 light tanks per team, we've got 2 artillery, so I'm going to do sort of the usual, and I'm going to push up to the spot where I can sort of light up across the other side where I consider most of the tanks to be camping. And again, we've got the good sort of top speed that we can get to, which means we can get to that spot fairly quickly. It's a bit of a nightmare on Normanham because you've got sort of a lot of ridges, a lot of stuff, a lot of debris in the way, which is going to slow you down. But let's see, we're sort of getting to that top speed okay. And we've made it here safely. We did get sort of spotted. I'm assuming it's going to be a light tank or a tank destroyer that's sitting at the top here. And see, there's already some tracer rounds coming our way. So there's something up here, just not sure what, but we're going to try and light him up and then hopefully get some assist off this guy. So you can see it's the enemy light tank there. We also spot up something at the back. And now we are just waiting for some support or our artillery to start hitting these guys. But at the moment we're just sort of picking up information. We're going to pop up and try and see if we can get some shots off. We tried sneaking a shot into that VK, but unfortunately we just didn't quite aim in fully. I was a little bit worried about getting hit there, so I wasn't chancing it too much. We can see the artillery is poking or sat up in a very peculiar position. Usually, if anything, I would expect a heavy tank or a medium tank to be sort of sitting where that artillery is. Unfortunately, it's just beyond the rock enough where I can't get shots, so a bit frustrating. Tried sneaking a shot into that medium tank there, but unfortunately with dirt. So there you go, you can see the bad armour that the LOZA actually has. So tanks like that VK are going to pen, not a problem. Particularly as they're sort of looking down on us. Our upper plate is basically going to be looking sort of flat to them, so they'll be able to sort of just penetrate easily. So we move back to the right hand side of this rock to try and get some more vision, try and see if we can get some shots off. Unfortunately we just bounced that M6. I think the M6 just got out of the way there, so I wasn't able to sort of squeeze a shot in. Now we can see this, I think it's a 40 TP, we do get a shot in there. Sneak another shot in, like I say, the rapid reload means you can just sort of squeeze those shots in quite well. Looking over the way now, we're going to try and see if we can get some shots into this enemy VK. Get a shot into the side of him, get a shot into his track. Unfortunately, we take a shot from something in the back there. Which of these tanks crossing? Tried squeezing the shot, but that wasn't going to go in at all. Unfortunately, it's a shame his tanks got lit up sort of as they sort of moved behind that rock, because if I was spotted out in the open where I was in a position, I could have got quite a few cross shots into them. So a bit unfortunate. We've got artillery aiming at us now, so we need to sort of be careful of that. Gonna sort of move back to the rock. Our artillery does manage to hit onto us, putting us down to 500 hit points, which is not great. It's still aiming at us. We're trying to get a shot into that VK. Unfortunately, we don't pen, but we do bounce a shot off our gun mantlet there, which is nice. Now we're going to move back round to the rock. 2 reasons. One, to try and avoid artillery, and next try and spot up that hill there, and we do spot up that tank destroyer. Going to try and get some shots in, but unfortunately he's just in enough cover and his upper plate is angled to us, so we're not going to be able to sneak any shots into that tank destroyer. So we're going to back up and we're going to move back round to the right hand side of this rock, and we're just going to rinse and repeat really, just sort of moving backwards and forwards round to each side of the rock to keep the vision. We've picked up just over 800 assists and we've got over 800 damage, so it's not been too bad for assistance. I was sort of a little bit worried that we wasn't getting as much as what we like, and I was sort of worried that the TDs and tanks behind me were just sitting a little bit too far back and just weren't in a position where they could get shots off. So now we are sort of just moving over to the right here, going to try and light up this cross. We can see there's a one-shot tank. There's also the Brombar, which we need to be careful of. We're going to aim for the 25 TP first because it's a one-shot. We take rid of that guy, and now we're going to sort of focus some shots onto that enemy light tank. We want to take that guy out of the game if we can. But now the Brombar's popped up, so we need to be careful of the Brombar. It does take a shot, but we just duck out in time. Try to sneak a shot in there, but unfortunately we hit his track. But you can see the rapid reload is making light work of this Brombar, and we end up taking him out for our second kill of the game there. Now there's this enemy heavy tank there, so we're going to get some shots into that guy, and we take him out for our third kill. Nice quick successive kills. Artillery is on the move, so we're definitely going to get some shots into artillery. Unfortunately, we just don't quite aim right there. We tried then going for the light tank. We'd only hit his track. We missed the other shot. We need to try and get this light tank out if possible. Trying to aim, unfortunately it just bounces off the side of it, and then he gets behind that rock, which was really frustrating. Trying to aim for the artillery, but again we just sort of we do screw up our shot there, which is a bit frustrating. There's only 3 tanks left. We've got the opportunity here for the top gun, so this is why I'm sort of moving in quite quick to artillery now. I've loaded up the HE because we know we'll be able to sort of penetrate him for more damage. And we come round. Unfortunately, artillery has decided he's going to go YOLOing us, and yeah, shotguns us, but doesn't actually do any damage. So I have no idea what happened in that shell there. I don't know. I don't know if it just derped in front of us, if it hit our gun mantlet and just didn't do anything. I have no idea. I was expecting a big hit of damage there when he comes sort of YOLOing in front of us, but miraculously, yeah, we avoided any damage out of that, which was quite amazing, quite astonishing to be fair, but I will take that luck. So we're up to 4 kills, 2.3k damage and 1800 assist. I was sort of dubious whether if the game ended now, whether this would be an ace or not. I kind of assume it would still be a first class. There's 2 tanks left, and I want to sort of get as far ahead as possible to try and get the damage. And again, this is where sort of the good speed helps you out here. If you're in the Thunderbolt, you'll be struggling because obviously the speed in the Thunderbolt is nowhere near as good as the LOZA. In fact, all the Sherman variants apart from the LOZA aren't really that great with their speed. So yeah, when we get the advantage here, we spot up the Absolution here, which is AFK, which is good news for us because we can just harvest all this damage and also pick up any assistance. We put him down to a one-shot. Can we get the kill? We do, picking up our 5th kill of the game, and we're definitely on for the top gun here. It's just, where is this enemy Bogatyr? We need to find him because my instincts tell me that the guys sort of near me are gonna cap. I'm hoping they don't. I'm hoping they come with me. I'm hoping they sort of disperse and we can find this tank. So I'd rather just sort of be able to kill her. And you can see I'm on for a fantastic game here, and I'm actually on for a top gun. So it really would be nice to find this enemy tank destroyer. But the heavy tank and the tank destroyer on our team have decided to sit in the cap, which is not good news. I can get it. I can understand it. They're slow tanks, so yeah, I do understand why they're capping, but it's quite frustrating really when I know I've got the speed. Haven't necessarily got all the hit points, particularly for a Bogatyr. It could be 50-50 if I did get into a duel with the Bogatyr, but we've got 2 artillery in the game. And the Bogatyr has actually been found. He's other side the map. He's relatively full health. So, you know, there's a lot of hit points on offer here. So I'm racing over. I'm asking the two players in the cap, please, please attack. Please just sort of, at least one of you get out of the cap. Just reset the cap. So, because if we kill all, it's more XP up for grabs. So it's in their interest, especially if they're grinding, which I believe one's a Churchill and one is a Giroud. So yeah, they're both going to be grinding lines. But unfortunately, decided to stay in the cap, didn't want the extra XP. Okay, fair enough, that's fine. We move on to the victory board here, and we can see we picked up 5 kills, not quite the top gun, which is unfortunate. We did have a pretty decent game there. We picked up 3.1k damage with 2,000 assist. Picking up the ace tanker and the high caliber and the Pascucci's medal, and yeah, really nice end to the replay there. So yeah, that is the level 25 tank on the season pass, the Loza, which is not a bad tank, to be fair, but yeah, it's a little bit different to the other Sherman variants, but ultimately it's a Sherman. It's gonna take a lot of shredding when you're in tier 8 lobbies, so that's one thing to obviously be careful with. But like I say, you have got the maneuverability to get round the flanks and get out of danger if you need to be. So not a bad tank for a level 25, that's for sure. So anyway guys, that is it for the video. I really hope you enjoyed watching. As always, please like and subscribe if you did. Leave a comment, let me know how you're getting on with the tank. I'm assuming most people will have this by now. Do you enjoy it? How do you find it? Let me know. Anyway guys, that is it for the video, and I will catch you next time.